What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of From the Sidelines. I'm Cullen Mac.
I thought I was doing this show by myself today.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just had to warp in through my Mario tube.
Where did you even come from?
The Mario tube. You don't see it?
Oh, okay. Now I understand.
Yeah.
Right. Let me just 1 second.
Where do you go?
Oh my God, Super Mario!
Dude, it's cool, right?
It's crazy.
It's awesome.
Oh my God.
Yeah. It's
I'm
pretty
Daniel
sick.
DiMaggio.
I'm Cullen Mac. Let's get right into the good stuff, the
Let's
meat.
do it. It's just about over. Regular season baseball. My mom's happy. My cat's happy. They won't have to hear the sound of baseball throughout the house anymore. Except when the Mets make the playoffs, baby. That is
Unless my team has something to say about it.
That is if they can overcome the Braves for that final wild card spot. But it is going to come down to that 3-game series, Mets versus Braves, at the end of the year. I don't know if it's in Atlanta or New York. That does matter, but that's going to be cinema.
I'm pretty sure it's in Atlanta, but yeah, it's going to be cinema. We're going to be throwing some punches off camera,
I think so.
of course.
Oh.
Of course. Yeah.
I think there's going to be some fights in that series.
In the series, too?
And while we watch it at home, for sure, as
Yeah,
well.
I think it'll be fun. I mean, well, the Mets are gearing up for this. You know, they're calling up Luis Angel Acuna.
They did.
They're
they
trying
finally
to,
called him up.
They're like, you don't have an Acuna? Well, we have an
We have
Acuna.
Acuna. With a good Achilles so far. ACL.
ACL.
I was surprised that they were calling up Luis Angel Acuna. It piques my interest because I don't know what this late in the season with that much inexperience. I don't know what they think they're going to get out of a guy like that.
Yeah, well, I believe his first game he went 2 for 4, so he's
did.
batting 500. So that's a pretty good guy to add to your
He
roster.
did play today, but yeah, after his first game, he was batting 500. Correct.
That's pretty crazy. Well, unfortunate news for Dodgers fans. It just gets worse, man. Tyler Glasnow will reportedly miss the entirety of the season. He had pitched, I believe, a career high in innings already, and I think they just overworked him.
That was the problem. He pitched a career high in innings.
They overworked the guy.
You would think
sucks.
pitching a career high in innings is an impressive feat. Not in today's age, where
Not when
Tommy John is like eating a Snickers bar.
Tyler Glassbones, thank you so much for everything you did. I mean, Glasnow,
Wow,
thank you so
good
much
one.
for
Good
everything
one.
you did this season. Wish a speedy recovery, and you help us next year for sure.
Yeah.
When Shohei's back too, pitching.
All right, Tyler. See you next season.
Well, it's that time of the week here at From the Sidelines when we cozy up next to each other and read some hot NFL stats because we're giving our top 3 offensive and defensive players of the week. I think you should go
Right
first.
now, please put a cup of hot cocoa in my hand and some steam coming off of it. All right, here we go. Number 3, my third best offensive performer of the week. 2 letters, DK. Not Donkey Kong. DK Metcalf, baby. 10 receptions, 129 yards, and a touchdown. Geno Smith threw for 317, so he got a lot of people involved. But DK, it looks like he's a monster again. It's good to see him back to where he belongs, which is on top, baby.
I see your 2 letters, and I raise you 2 more.
Oh.
J.K. Dobbins.
Ah, nice.
Running back for the Los Angeles Chargers. Another guy, great to see him. I think you said something today that he couldn't even walk up the stairs in Baltimore, and now he's running through the gates at the L.A.
You know who he did rehab with? Aaron Rodgers.
He did.
Yeah, and you know what? They did ayahuasca together. No,
Copious amounts,
the conversations those two must have had, because since leaving that room, both of them have bounced back to being in football form.
J.K. Dobbins, 17 carries, 131 yards, plus 1 touchdown, en route to absolutely crush the Panthers. Have a day, J.K.
2 straight weeks of 100-plus rushing yards. Wait, is this the J.K. from Ohio State or the J.K. of the NFL? How about both, baby?
He's back.
He's back, baby.
Your number 2?
My number 2. Well, staying on the topic of Ohio State products, how about the best one out of this year's draft? Maserati, vroom, vroom, Marvin Harrison Jr., baby. It only took him 4 receptions to achieve 130 yards and 2 touchdowns. How about that, DK? I'm kidding. DK, you did good too. Maserati Marv. All he needed was another week to get some more separation, and boy, did he.
All right, if we're going back and forth between our college prospects, I'm going to go with my number 2. Straight out of Georgia, James Cook. It's his second year in the league, but he's having a big year so far. This past week against the Dolphins, he had 3 total touchdowns, 78 yards on the ground, plus 1 17-yard reception touchdown. It's a glorious day to be a Georgia fan. Go Dogs.
It's good to have a running back named Cook at the top of the game again.
Yeah.
Talking to you, Dalvin. All right, number 1 out of New Orleans, a running back by the name of Taysom Hill. No, AK, baby, Alvin Kamara. He's back. 1, 2, 3, 4 touchdowns, 20
Not
carries,
one, not two,
115
not three,
yards on the ground, 65 yards in the air. Have a day, Alvin Kamara. You are my player of the week.
All right, well, my number 1 from Phoenix, Arizona, or wherever the Cardinals play. He had 5 rushes for 59 yards, 266 yards in the air, plus 3 touchdowns. He goes by K1 speed, Kyler Murray. Yeah, that's really all I have to say about him. He came out, balled out against the Rams, and he was just running all over the place. They couldn't even lay their hands on the guy.
If you work for the Cardinals and you announced Kyler Murray in that voice every game, he wouldn't want to go back to playing baseball.
Yeah.
Definitely not.
Thank you.
No, I'm
Thank
playing.
you.
I'm playing.
Arizona Cardinals.
I'm joking.
That's my application. Thank you.
Right, exactly.
All right, well, let's get into the defense then.
Let's do it.
Number 3 for defense. I'm going to go a guy probably has my favorite name on this list out of the Vikings, Blake Cashman. Blake Cashman, 13 total tackles, 1 sack, plus 3 pass defenses against the San Francisco 49ers. Definitely a key part in that win over the Niners today.
Blake Cashman, former Jet.
Yeah.
Do you think he just hits this, Sally?
He should.
When he breaks up a pass deflection, he just said, "That's cool." Blake Cashman, all right.
Yeah.
Good one. Good one. I picked a big dog up front for the New York Jets at number 3, Will McDonald the 4th. Not the 3rd, not the 5th. 3 sacks. Well, talk about getting past that Titans offensive line. Not 1, not 2, but 3 sacks. I know C.J. Mosley went down today. I know Jermaine Johnson went down today. But if Will McDonald can do a sliver of what he did this week, the rest of the season, I'll be happy.
Yeah. Last week, I'd like to apologize to my friend. I was telling her that the Las Vegas Raiders are an absolutely terrible football team, and they suck. And they'll be lucky if they win 4 games this season. Well, they've won their first game this season. It was against the Baltimore Ravens. The defense actually played...
One of the best teams in the NFL, the Baltimore Ravens.
The 0-2 Baltimore Ravens.
Still one of the best teams in the NFL.
The Las Vegas Raiders defense played really well, especially Max Crosby. 6 total tackles, plus 2 sacks and 1 pass defended. I mean,
When does he not have a big
When is
game?
Mad Max not going crazy out there? So
A guy who had a big game on that team was Robert Spillane as well. He had a big game. Number 2 for me, another big defensive end, probably the biggest. I don't really want to name his college, so I won't. Hint, it's yellow and blue.
Go Blue.
Aiden Hutchinson out of Detroit.
He's your number 2?
He's my number 2.
That's wild.
4.5
Who's your
sacks.
number 1?
I'll tell you who my number 1 is when we get to that point. 4.5 sacks. Now look, I put him 1 originally. On my list, he's 1. And I had to do a couple arrows because I just had to look at the other stat line the other player had and give him that much more credibility. But hey, 4.5 sacks, that's ridiculous.
Well, I'm going to go with my number 1. He's on the Cardinals, Dennis Gardick.
Ooh.
He had 6 total tackles, 4 tackles for loss, and 3 sacks on Matt Stafford and the Rams. I told you the Cardinals came to play today. The Rams,
Not at all.
they were not playing.
Not at all.
It
They
wasn't
were
Josh.
rambunctious.
It wasn't Josh Allen out there running from the pressure. It was Matt Stafford sitting in that pocket, and he got eaten alive, man.
Yeah, for
by
real.
Dennis Gardick.
For real. Wow. And you got to imagine that Cooper Kupp was getting covered by those corners pretty well as well.
Byron Murphy.
Sorry, I couldn't watch the game. It was 31-3.
Buda Baker.
Anyway, good player. Shouldn't be stuck in Arizona. Number 1. Not Aiden Hutchinson.
Crazy.
Why?
Wild.
Because Jamarcus Ingram, cornerback for the Buffalo Bills, 2 interceptions? 1 for a pick 6?
That's pretty crazy.
Come on. Come on.
That's good, yeah.
He's putting points on the board as a cornerback. That's why I had to put him number 1.
All right, man.
2 picks?
I'll
That's
give you
Darrelle Revis in his prime right there.
I'll give you that. I
All
think
right.
Hutchinson would have been my number 1.
All right, fine.
All right. Well, that does our players for
does
the
it.
week. Some other news, not directly football related, but it's going to be in the future, the Super Bowl. It was announced this week that Kendrick Lamar would be the halftime performer at the Super Bowl. He was shooting some disses at Drake in his announcement. They're very slight. You have to have a keen eye and a keen ear to be able to tell what he was doing. But one guy who felt pretty disrespected was Lil Wayne. It's happening. The Super Bowl is happening in his hometown in New Orleans, Louisiana. And Lil Wayne feels disrespected. What do you feel about this?
Well, he ain't making a milli off the Super Bowl, that's for sure.
Milli,
Well, they don't make
milli.
money off
They
the
don't.
Super Bowl.
They
So.
don't.
How do I feel
No
about
one's
this?
making a milli.
How do I feel about this? I feel disrespected. Like I'm Lil Wayne. No. How do I feel about this? I'm rather disappointed. I think there was an opportunity there for Lil Wayne to be picked. From Louisiana, born and raised, Louisiana's own. Not one, not two, not three, not four, but 5 Carter albums later. 5 Carter albums later. He's been around since 06, before I was born pretty much. Give him the Super Bowl halftime show.
Yeah.
Come on.
You know what the problem is? It's because he's a Packers fan.
Oh, he is a Packers fan.
He's not even a Saints fan.
He's not even a Saints fan. But is Kendrick Lamar even a Rams fan? Who knows?
He's probably a Raiders fan.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Who knows?
Either way, Kendrick Lamar don't care about New Orleans. He just cares about putting on a show. Congrats to Kendrick. He's at the top of the game. He always is and always will be. But there was an opportunity there for Lil Wayne, man.
They're not like us. They never will be. They never was.
They not like us.
Well, you know who is like me? Hollywood Brown. Marquise Brown was unfortunately going to be out for the rest of the season after receiving shoulder surgery. Prayers up for Hollywood Brown. The Chiefs don't really need him. We saw today they had a very close win against the Bengals, but they still scraped it out of there. Cam Taylor-Britt had the OBJ interception on Xavier Worthy. That was crazy.
That was incredible.
Absolutely insane, but prayers up Hollywood.
Prayers up to Hollywood, and prayers up to Christian McCaffrey as well. He's headed to the IR. Ugly, man. He hasn't even played a snap of football this year, and his ankle or his...
It's a calf Achilles.
Man.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah, prayers up to Christian, man.
They don't even need him, though. Jordan Mason having quite a time of his life.
He really is having
20 carries, 100 yards, and a touchdown today. I mean, I'm sure McCaffrey
I'm going to say Christian
more.
McCaffrey comes back by week 5. It's going to be a while.
I think that he can take his time.
Right. Dun 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 dun. Dun dun dun. College football, baby. And the Pac-12. We all thought it was going away, but not so soon. Don't speak so soon. Don't speak so fast.
Don't speak on the dead.
Don't speak on the dead. The conference has recently added 4 Mountain West teams. Boise State, San Diego State, Colorado State, and Fresno State, and AG State, and blah, blah, blah State. It's a lot of states, I know, but they're not dead. They're alive.
Yeah.
Now let's get Washington State back in there and Notre Dame, the 2 that are independents who are trying to be all high and mighty. Get them back in the Pac-12. I like that they're bringing it back.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. The Pac-12 is not dead, thank goodness. It was... I love those Pac-12 after dark games. Those are always fun to watch, late at night on the weekends. Those are always really cool to see. So I'm glad it's still there.
Yeah.
I believe they aren't officially joining till 2026. So we still have some time to wait. And there's a bunch of money that has to go back and forth between payouts, buyouts, etc. But, it'll be all figured out and the Pac-12 will be back. All right, well, that wraps it up for the CFB. Let's head to the WNBA.
Throw it up,
Some
Cullen.
big news. Throw up the W. First things first, Kaylin Clark set the single-season assists record with...
As a rookie?
As a rookie, she set the single-season assist record with 317 assists in a season.
Oh, man.
And the season's not even over yet. That's the crazy thing.
Man.
So she's only adding to that total.
Oh, no.
Plus, she set a career-high 35 points
That's
today.
incredible.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
One other thing to note, Las Vegas Aces forward center Asia Wilson became the first player in WNBA history to have 1,000 points in one season. Yeah, she's the GOAT. She's
Asia Wilson, man. That jump shot, that jumper is pure.
Yeah, I definitely think she's been hitting the lab with Bam.
Congrats to her. And she got a gold medal this year, so congrats
I
to
think
her.
she's the best player in the WNBA.
I agree.
And
I think it's easy.
This definitely seals the argument.
Yeah,
for sure.
100%.
All right, one last final thing to note on today's show. For any of you lacrosse fans out there, I played lacrosse in high school, so I have to give this one a shout out. The PLL came to its close this season. Today, at the PLL Championship, the Utah Archers have won back-to-back championships. Today, this was led by 3 goals from attackman Mac O'Keefe. That's a pretty dope name.
Everybody's like, wow, the Chiefs three-peating? What a big deal. Freaking We got the Utah Archers over here looking to three-peat in lacrosse, all right?
PLL.
Talk to them, baby. Talk to them, Archers.
Well, there. I'm gonna throw up the paper.
Do it, man.
That wraps it up this week on From the Sidelines.
Yeah, baby.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you follow, like, comment, subscribe, share everything you can to support this show. We need you to do it.
Right. I should have been doing sign language while he said that, just to give it ever more importance.
Let's do it one more time. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share, follow, send it to your friends, give it to your mom, your dad, your brother's friends, other people. It'll be great. We have a fun interview with Devin Dampier. It's really...
I can stop, right?
You can stop.
Oh, okay, cool.
We've gotten the message across.
Right,
so make sure you check that out, plus a bunch of new videos coming on the Instagram.
Watching, baby. Check it out. From the Sidelines, coming to your living room, baby.
We'll see you guys next week.
Right.